Yo, what's going on YouTube? Final video of the day, GZTV back with another one. I just got done creating my March Madness bracket, so that was a lot of fun. I think my bracket's going to be pretty good. We're going to have to see how it goes tomorrow, but we have about 7 NBA games on tonight that I want to talk about. There were a decent amount of good games compared to last night, for sure. So let's just start with my Celtics. Celtics Timberwolves, very good game. I watched all of it. Jaylen Brown scores 35. The Celtics hold on to beat the Wolves by 2. Amazing scoring for Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum was scoring the rock pretty efficiently. I mean, ever since All-Star break, I think Jaylen Brown has kind of taken over this team. But yeah, they held on in this one. This was a very tough win. It was a very sloppy win. I'm not really proud of it. Marcus Smart hit some clutch layups. Tatum fell hard on the ground, but he was able to dunk on one of the best defensive players of our generation. Jason Tatum, not a great shooting night, but he still managed to have 22 points and 12 rebounds. 35 points and 10 rebounds for Jaylen Brown, who shot 50% overall. Fantastic game for him. Looking at the Timberwolves, I mean, Anthony Edwards kind of did it all. 28 points. He kind of carried. They weren't able to win, but I mean, the guy had 28 points, 10 rebounds, 50% shooting. Mike Conley, Taurean Prince, Jordan McLaughlin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, role players, mostly guard players, kind of struggled for this team today. So, yeah, I still, if you're a Timberwolves fan, I still wouldn't be mad at where they're at, though. But let's move on to Sixers Cavs. This was a part of the ESPN doubleheader. Joel Embiid scores 36. He gets the late call reversed in a win over the Cavs. Joel Embiid went from fouling out to staying in, kind of a controversial call in this game, apparently. I didn't watch too much of this game. I watched probably the first quarter. I mean, obviously the Celtics played at 7, and these guys played at 6:30, so I wasn't really able to watch this game that much. I got to watch my Celtics. It's a priority. Tough shots for Embiid. Very interesting little reversed call. I mean, whether the Cavs fans think it was justified or not really sure. But let's take a look at the Sixers. I mean, the Sixers played a really good 36 points and 18 rebounds for Joel Embiid while shooting 40% from the three-point line. Tyrese Maxey put up 23. James Harden put up 28 and 12. He shot 33% from the three-point line. That big three is really coming into its own for the Sixers. Yeah, very solid squad they got going. I think they might be getting close to the Celtics, honestly. They could be getting close to the Celtics. What am I trying to say? For third in the West? Second? It's second, yeah. You look at the Cavs, you get 13 and 12 out of Evan Mobley, who shot 50%. You get a 21-point game for Donovan Mitchell. You get 24 for Karis LeVert off the bench. Very good game for him, shooting 50% from a 3. Lamar Stevens, not a guy you ideally want in your starting lineup. I mean, I'd almost start like a Chetty Osman over him. Raul Neto didn't play that well either. But yeah, I mean, that's really my only complaints for the Cavs. They had decent guys out there. It's just they weren't able to win. The Sixers are a tough team for anyone to beat. Grizzlies Heat, not a good game at all. Heat get a rare easy win. They roll past the Grizzlies. They win by 19. For the first time in nearly 2 months, the Miami Heat got an easy one. They have been one of those teams a part of damn near every close game you can imagine. But they were able to clutch it out tonight in a big way and win. So yeah, shout out to the Heat for getting a nice little win there. Obviously, the Grizzlies aren't going to have Ja for at least a couple of weeks. Jaren Jackson, shout out to Jaren Jackson. I mean, he had 25. He shot 67% from the field. Obviously, Desmond Bane with the whole ejection. That didn't help anything. But I mean, Dylan Brooks, the absolute scrub, the guy that everyone in the NBA fan base hates. I like seeing him play like shit. I mean, Santi Aldama didn't play too well. John Concar didn't play too well either for those guys. I mean, you definitely need guys to kind of step up in the role of Ja Morant, and that didn't really happen for certain people. You look at the Heat, though, 23 points for Jimmy Butler. You get a 26-point performance for Bam Adebayo. Lots of good performances. This team played really good tonight, 67% from the field. Tyler Hero had 24 off of 33% three-point shooting. So that's really all I have to say about that game. You look at the Kings and the Bulls. Man, the Bulls just have it tough this year. They aren't even in the play-in when, they were supposed to probably be a top 5 team in the East. They finished probably 6 seeds worse than they should. Or so far. They could go on a crazy run and end up in the play-in, which they should. I think that'd be good for basketball if a team like them made the play-in. But very tough loss. You're playing a tough team here, and you just barely lose. It hurts, honestly, if you're a Bulls fan. De'Aaron Fox hits a 3 at the buzzer. The Kings beat the Bulls by a 3-pointer. 0.7 seconds left was left on the clock when De'Aaron Fox hit a big shot. The Bulls just can't have their way ever, can they? They really can't, man. Looking at the Sacramento Kings, 14, 10, and 17 for Domantas Sabonis, shooting 60%. He is one of the most underappreciated front court players in the NBA. You get 32 points out of De'Aaron Fox. He is just an absolute killer, shooting 67% from 3. You look at the Bulls, 33 points for DeRozan. DeRozan played probably one of his best games in a while, I would say, shooting 67% from 3, 50% from the field. You get 20 and 14 from Vooch. You get 25 from Zach LaVine. Everything was looking solid for this squad, but, when your guards can't really score that well, I really appreciate Patrick Beverley as a role player, as a hustler. I know he talks a lot of shit on social media and stuff, but he's still a guy you can appreciate. But, guys like him, guys like Ayo Dosunmu, guys like Andre Drummond, those guys need to fill a role on this team, and they need to do it well. And they're not necessarily doing it right now. But, I don't know. We can move on. Lakers, Rockets. The Lakers managed to lose to a tank team. The Rockets have had some crazy dubs recently. They beat the Celtics. So, yeah, Kevin Porter scores 27 points. The Rockets beat a shorthanded Lakers. Obviously, the Lakers without 2 of their debatably best players. I don't know if you want to say D'Lo can be in there. D'Lo was actually playing. But, yeah, great scoring for KPJ. They won by 4 here. It's just tough, man. The Lakers are getting so close to that edge, to getting over the hump, getting over that 500 hump, and they still have a chance. We'll still watch them throughout the season, but it's going to have to happen soon, man. LeBron's going to want to come back to the playoffs, or in the playoffs, to a team that has found their way. LeBron has shown a lot of praise for this team, but, with no Anthony Davis, I guess this team didn't play terrible. 13 points, 10 rebounds for Jared Vanderbilt. You get 24 points with AR-15 off the bench. AR-15, very underappreciated player in the league. He has been playing pretty well. But, guys like Rui Hachimura and Lonnie Walker really just need to do more for this team. And maybe they need to play Lonnie Walker more. I don't know what the hell happened to his minutes. But, man. Yeah, he's had some 20-point games when they give him the shot to play. He's actually a pretty solid option. But not this time, I suppose. Looking at the Rockets, 27 points for KPJ. That's really all they needed. He shot 40% from 3. He had a good go-around there. Let's just move on to Mavs and Spurs. Very good game. Insane ending. This was the game of the night for sure. This was a joy. This was really fun to watch. I really enjoyed it. Christian Wood has 27 points and 13 rebounds in the Mavs OT win over the Spurs. We know, whatever, however you want to put it, that Christian Wood is a very good player and he could step up when you need him to. But in this fashion, man, he looked incredible out there, man. He really did. Great scoring and rebounding for him. A series of blunders at the end of regulation. Dallas Mavs, they overcame it. They had a couple really bad play calls from Jason Kidd with that whole out-of-bounds pass. So it was really dumb. But they were still able to win by 9 in overtime. Without Luka and Kyrie Irving, you are playing the Spurs, but the Spurs have given a couple of teams tough times. And that play by Popovich was just masterful to tie it up. Man, that's just play calls like that just show the distinction all time between a coach like Greg Popovich and a coach like Jay Kidd. It really does. Looking at the Mavs, a lot of guys stepped up. This team played incredible. I mean, I know I only talked about Christian Wood, but geez, this team played great. 20 and 13 for Reggie Bullock, 60% three-point shooting. His best game of the year, and probably his best game of the last couple of years. 22 points for Dwight Powell. Didn't miss a single shot. When do we ever see Dwight Powell put up 20? Hardly ever. I mean, this is an impressive game for him. 21 points for Josh Green, 40% three-point shooting, 50% from the field. 22 points for Jalen Hardy. He shot 60% from the three. Young guys that have been on the team for a while, everyone is just stepping up here. 28 points and 13 rebounds for Christian Wood, who shot 50% from three. This team played incredible. They shot 51% overall, 52% from three. It's hard to beat a team that plays that good. But you look at the Spurs, Keldon Johnson, big-time player in this game, 27 points, and obviously Malachi Branham, a legend out of Ohio State, put up 20. He shot 67% overall. He played really good. I would say, George Zhang could have definitely did a little more for this team, but hey, I don't know. There's not too much to really hate on. I think the Spurs put up a well-rounded effort in this one. So, that's going to do it for that game. That was a fantastic game. Warriors-Clippers. I wasn't really able to watch this game that much, but I still saw a lot of headlines. Clippers beat the Warriors by 8 despite 50 points from Curry. Think about it. Curry would have had to put up 60 points to win this game. I think that's unacceptable. I mean, the Warriors are in a pretty good spot this season for what they've had to deal with this year, but your best player's putting up 50 and you're losing by damn near double digits to a team that's literally on your level. I mean, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George scored well. Curry had to go against those two guys. It was pretty much a 2v1 in that aspect. What a night for Curry. I will continue to give him his flowers for a game like this despite a loss, because my goodness, 50 points. The dude put up 50 points. He was the only guy that played good, man, really. I mean, Looney, I really appreciate him for being a rebounder. He's an undersized center. He fares well in this league. I like it. But show us a little something more. I mean, guys like him and guys like Moses Moody need to do more for this Warriors roster. I mean, the Clippers were more of a team. Curry was just a one-man army. PG put up 24, Kawhi put up 30. You get a 19 and 16 stat line for Zubac off of a 75% field goal shooting. So, I mean, I guess it is kind of difficult to beat a team like that, but I don't really have anything else to say. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I am out. Tomorrow morning, you guys are going to get a Last of Us video. You're going to get a Outer Banks video. I kind of did some weird stuff where I flipped the episodes around, and then obviously the NBA recap.